Assalamu alaikum dear audience, this is Sanobar Sultan and here you are watching another video on Sanobar's World. So today the topic of our discussion is titled The Power of Persuasion. Now, persuasion is the art of convincing somebody to agree to your terms, to agree to your views without the use of force. Now, there could be different methods of how you could persuade somebody. The first could be argument. So you could argue your case, say that this is the reason, this is the logic of why something should be done, and you convince somebody with your arguments. The second is talking in an emotionally charged tone, and that sort of builds up that emotion in people that can make you persuade somebody that what you're saying is has credibility. And it can be by giving different examples, analogies, and even cursing somebody. That sort of incites emotions. Emotions could be of hatred, of loyalty, of any form of emotions that you could incite by using different adjectives, different those sort of, and tones also. The tone of your emotionally charged speech also has an impact on the listener. Somebody who speaks in a high pitched tone, for example, Hitler, if you see his speeches, he had a very high pitched, the tone was very high pitched. There was everything about very high pitched, just constantly charging at the microphone and everything like that. And then you have people, and Mussolini as well, he was also very high pitched, his speeches were very high pitched, emotionally charged. And then you have somebody like Stalin, who had a very different form of speaking during speeches. It was not high pitched. And then you have other leaders like Margaret Thatcher. Her tone was very low tone. So she did not have a high pitched tone when she addressed the speech. It was usually generally how she spoke was a low tone. So there are different variations with which you can use the tone, the language, the use of different analogies to emotionally charge your audience and let them be swayed towards what you are saying. And the third is practice what you preach. That is another tool of persuading somebody that look at me, I'm doing this, and you preach people through your actions, and people observe you and watch you, and maybe somebody thinks of you as a role model and they would like to follow you. So that's also the third type of persuasion. And then the fourth persuasion could be a blind follower. So we don't know whether the blind follower, the one who is following, whether he practices what he preaches, whether he is a hypocrite, or whatever he is. The blind follower is going to say that anything wrong done by his leader or his idol is to be ignored, trivialized, or justified. And yeah, and most of the blind followers, they are not even listening to what their idol is talking much. It's just pure blind adulation and admiration. So those are sort of, you could categorize them as the four types of persuading persuasion methodologies. Now, the other thing is what we're going to take this forward and say that, very few people in this world are very firm on their ideologies. You think everybody is very firm on their ideas? They're not. Most people in this world can be swayed. You can change their ideas at any stage of life. So this is changing your ideas is not a sign of immaturity. It just happens. It can happen at any stage of your life. And yeah, most people are susceptible to change and being taken in by persuasion. Another thing is people think that it's mostly stupid people who get persuaded, and that I would, for example, somebody fell for some scam or must be a stupid person. It's actually not. Rich people fall into persuasions, poor people fall into persuasions, literate people and illiterate people. It's just somebody, maybe for a rich person, somebody who is a very foxy man sort of comes along and they can be tricked. So don't think that only stupid people fall for being, that only stupid people are persuaded. It's everybody can be. Everybody can be persuaded. No matter how educated you are. Yeah, so I would be also giving you several examples. Now the key incentive in today's era, which is monetary. Money makes the world go round, and scams are one of the most common things that happen in the world, in the financial world, be it in our daily transactions or even at big levels. So I'll be giving you one example from how somebody could persuade a million people to invest in their company. Now, there are many examples of scammers, but one of the most sort of high profile cases that have emerged was OneCoin. OneCoin was founded in 2014 by a Bulgarian woman named Ruja Ignatovia. And her company, OneCoin, was, according to her, the next big thing in cryptocurrency. And she did her marketing so well. She was very, she did her marketing, she, had good PR, and it sort of kicked off in 2014. And within span of a few months, what she did was she scammed 1 million people, approximately 1 million people, out of 4 billion euros. And they're not from one country. They're people, those 1 million people are from around the world, 175 countries. So imagine that she scammed people globally from 175 countries, approximately 1 million people, out of 4 billion euros. The company is OneCoin. And it's an ongoing case, because when the transnational authorities caught up with her, she is actually in hiding now. So she took a flight from Bulgaria to Athens, and she has basically disappeared. So nobody knows where she is, and it's constant journalistic fodder. So everybody's wondering where she is. She's on the hit list. She's on the FBI's most wanted person list. So you see, who did she scam? It was not just scamming ordinary people. She scammed big investors. So I'm going to reiterate that do not think that only stupid people fall for scammers and somebody uneducated fall for scammers. No, anybody can fall for a scammer. The scammer just has to be one step ahead. So you can scam anybody. That's one example. um, yeah. And then the other example of persuading somebody, which does not have to do with marketing and providing of services, is that you could make people, persuade people to think your way ideologically. And I would give you two examples of persuading somebody ideologically, which is religion and cult. Now, the aspect what I'm going to focus on here is the two examples that I'm going to give you. I'm going to focus on this aspect that these institutions, these religious institutions that I'm talking about, I'll be giving you two examples. They are not exactly providing that soul searching, soul fodder. What they are providing is actually a money making industry. The first example is of Scientology. Now, Scientology is a religion. It's called the Church of Scientology, which was founded by L. Ron Hubbard in America in the 20th century. And it has its own religion where it's about aliens and these sort of things. And what it does is it targets rich people. Most of them rich people. And then if you're not a rich person, they and they have, imagine they have their own community. It's you work for them. The lower people who are not rich, if they become part of Scientology, they become as if they are working slaves for them. And they have their own gated communities in America and elsewhere. And the key aspect is what Scientology does is that it financially drains its members. Okay, that's the key aspect of being a member of Scientology, that you have to be rich. If you're not rich, you have to, everything that belongs to you, your finances, they're theirs then. They get hold of your financial data, your social security number, your everything. And they cut you and they become part of your life. They engage you in their social activities so that your social circle becomes everybody from Scientology. And then they slowly cut you out of, cut you from any non-members of Scientology, so that you are brainwashed into believing in Scientology. But the key aspect here is that it is run on donations by members who willingly give up their financial data, who willingly donate to the Church of Scientology, because they think that this is because this is their religion. So they donate to the Church of Scientology. The second example is a little tricky one, because it's a very tricky subject here in Pakistan. It's about it's a religion. It's called the Ahmadi religion or Qadiani religion, which has its hub in Pakistan, and it was founded by Mirza Qadiani in 19th century. So he was somebody from the subcontinent. The problem is, this is a very controversial topic in Pakistan there, because the issue is that what Mirza Qadiani proposed was, they have the same rituals as Muslims. That is what they say, that they practice the same rituals, but for them, their leader, their founder, is actually the Messiah, is actually the chosen Messiah of God, of Allah, according to the Ahmadi community. Now, this is highly blasphemous in Pakistan. In Islam, there's no such thing. And according to the research that I've done on this community, on this person, on this individual, the founder of this religion, and the books that he has written, the kind of blasphemous things that he has written about all prophets in his books, the kind of belief system that they have, it is so outrageous. It is not Islam. And the problem in Pakistan is a very controversial topic, that why are they declaring them? The problem is not that they do not have the right to exist. The problem is, why do they declare themselves as Muslims? Because, and in my opinion, it's not Islam. It's not. And I'm going to not go into the teachings of this religion, but I'm going to talk about the financial aspect of this religion, like Scientology. And the financial aspect is that they could, how they convert people, is that they could give them incentives by giving them asylum to a developed country, a peaceful country. But then again, like Scientology, what they do is that they involve that newcomer in their community. So they are actually keeping a watch on you, everybody who you're interacting with, how much your income is, who do you socialize with. They know everything about you. And they know who you're meeting. Are you meeting somebody who is outside of the community? What is the level of interaction you have with them? And the financial aspect of what this religion does is, it is, again, like Scientology, it is based on donations. And they say that as members of this religion, you have to donate to this religion. They have their own, it's very well organized, and you have to donate to them so that they can continue with their religious proliferation of their religious beliefs and everything. And there could be, now, in Islam, the only tax that we pay is zakat. But in this religion, I'm talking about how they financially drain the member of this religion. In the Ahmadi religion, is that they say the members of this religion, they have to pay monthly taxes, and the monthly tax collection is done on the total income of all your sources. So every member of this community, Ahmadi community, they calculate his monthly income, and they say that out of all your sources, there are going to be different calculations for your monthly tax, for your monthly donations. Now, for example, there's one is called Chanda Aam. Chanda means donation in Urdu. Chanda Aam means you have to donate 1/16 of your total income per month. And then there is another chanda, another charity, which is Chanda Wasiyat, which is 1/10 of your total income, and this 1/10 could be increased to 1/3. And then there is another chanda called Majlis. There's another chanda for Majlis, for Chanda, Majlis, and Ijtama. So this religion is not just it's a separate religion, but I'm talking about financially draining its members, who willingly, obviously, they willingly do it, but they know every financial data. And I watched documentaries on it where ex-members of this religion said that how they were pressurized. No matter, first they send them, for example, they say, they provide them, lucrative sort of ideas. We're going to send you to a developed country. And when they send them to a developed country, those people get jobs there. Now they are chained into providing that monthly tax for the rest of their lives. So imagine that initial capital of sending somebody on the grounds of asylum abroad is you get a very high return investment on that, because now that person is going to pay you multiple monthly donations for the rest of your life, and they get your hold of your financial data. So that's how today people are persuaded to willingly do things. Yeah. So I'm going to again say this, that don't think I'm so smart, nobody can scam me, or I'm so smart, nobody can persuade me. No. Any person can be persuaded. Ideologically, financially, anybody can be. It's just that the persuader has to be a step ahead of you. That's what it is. Yeah, so there could be, we could say, for example, you could persuade yourself. So we're going to sort of go towards the end of this video. You could also persuade yourself. And there are two types of persuasions which people do. The first is delusional, and the second is aspirational persuasions. So other people persuade you, and then you also persuade yourself. So the first type of persuasion which you do to yourself is called delusional persuasion. Now this is the most common form is of delusional persuasion, where you are delusional into thinking that I'm somebody important. So for example, I think I'm delusional, I'm somebody important, that the world revolves around me, and that anything that I want done is only a phone call away. So you think you're very important in society. So it's very important that you have a correct assessment or about yourself, about your standing, because delusions are not good. The second is aspirational persuasion. Now this is more, aspirational persuasion is that you want to become somebody, you want to become somebody 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, and you persuade yourself in the sense that you motivate yourself that I can also do this, I can also become like this person. So that's when you motivate yourself. You know that you're not there, you know that you're not delusional, but you want that down the line. So this is a sign of an optimistic and persistent person. Okay, so that's good. If you have a correct assessment of yourself, then you can persuade yourself that I can also be like that. I'm optimistic that if I'm persistent, if I'm optimist, that I can also achieve and become somebody big, for example, somebody important. And yeah, I'm just going to round this up now, and I'm going to say this to you, that persuasion without backing is like listening to lectures with no relevance to practical life. So society does not, people don't want to listen to lectures, and they say, well, you know what, I know what you're saying is to me is very informative, but I've got other things to do in my life. I've got to put food on the table, I've got errands to do, I've got social responsibilities. People want now is what you're telling me, how is this going to benefit me? How is this relevant to the practical life? That is why we need more people who are not just storytellers trying to persuade us, but somebody persuading to a goal, persuading towards that this is, for example, marketing techniques, that I'm persuading you that you buy this product. This is going to make your daily life easier. This is going to help you in your chores. For example, the OneCoin example, the OneCoin company, the scam, one of the biggest scams of the last 10 years, their goal was, we're going to make you rich. If you're rich, we're going to make you richer. So you have to not just give, you have to tell people that what am I going to get out of this? What's the benefit out of this? How is this going to help me? How is this going to make my life better? That's a better pitch. that I'm persuading this to you so that this is going to make your life better. And people love successful stories. People love successful models. They love the idea of rags to riches. Everybody wants to hear that. So because it's a mood lifter. It makes you feel, wow, he or she could do it. I can do it too if I work hard. Or maybe someday my kid could do that. Or somebody I know, like that's inspiring. Somebody worked hard and it paid off. And a lot of things are built up on word of mouth. So persuasion backed with no success is just talking. But persuasion backed with, I see what you are, you're a successful person and you're trying to persuade me, that works wonders. And furthermore, persuading somebody that based on ideology, based on nation building, when you persuade somebody, for example, people have made countries out of through the power of persuasion, that we are going to make this country, we're going to do nation building. That's how powerful it is. And definitely you all have heard that quote that ideas have wings. Yeah, ideas have wings. So do not underestimate the power of persuasion, be it for financial gains, ideological gains, religious gains, any types of persuasion. So persuasion works, and it works across the board on everybody. So don't think that only stupid people fall for persuasion. Everybody can fall into being persuaded to doing things out of their own will. So that was the video for today, ladies and gentlemen, and I shall see you all very soon. Take care. Bye bye.